Okay, hello everyone, welcome to an updated tour of our Minecraft server. I actually kind of was thinking of titling this video, This Guy Are Sick, but we're kind of past Final Fantasy 7 now. I'm feeling better, kind of. Um, the biggest problem I've been having is the headache, and I'm pretty sure it's whatever I have is sinus related at this point. So I think I mentioned that my both me and my mom have it, and both me and my mom had food poisoning last week. So I think it kind of compromised both our immune systems, and then I potentially got it, and then I shared it with her, and then well, both the nachos and the that caused the food poisoning and or allegedly had caused the food poisoning, more than likely. Um, anyway, yeah, I can't remember if I mentioned this before in my Minecraft streams. Uh, there was a problem I had when they updated to the Bedrock edition on PS4 that they didn't have the Mass Effect pack compatible, and they recently basically re-released it and did put up the trailer again, um, as if it were a new pack, which it isn't. Um, but now I have access to it again, and it's cross-platform, and I had to really. Uh, I'm probably coughing still quite a bit. I don't normally cough that much, but when I'm talking, it's probably gonna. I'm probably gonna need to actually cough. Um, so I'm not sure if I'm gonna be ready to doing any substantial streams. Although this is, oh, no, this is gonna be a test run basically. Um, to see if I'm ready. Um, because I'm probably pretty much be talking constantly because I'm guiding a tour of the server, um, which give a lot of rehashing of stuff that we've gone through before, just to do a relatively complete tour. Um, hey Ellie, but anyway, uh, yeah. So I'm fairly confident that it's not coronavirus. That's like one of the first things I did was look up the symptoms, and I've had it's a respiratory thing, uh, to just put it simply. So what I have is a headache and a cough and occasionally a runny nose, but it's the sinuses drain into everything. So you know um, headache, dizziness, occasional sore throat, coughing, and stomach aches because it's all draining into my stomach ultimately. So it's kind of yeah, um, it's not fun. It could potentially even be a type of flu, possibly. I mean, I've been vaccinated, but that's probably just maybe part of the reason why it isn't as bad as it could have been. Um, hopefully, I can actually get back to work next week. I've had to take every day off this week, which is really hoping to get my tax return. Um, due to state law, my I think it was the past couple of years that my state tax return is going directly to my student loan, um, which kind of sucks. Is kind of good because I basically had forbearance on my student loan uh, since forever, and it's even worse when you're a dropout, basically like me. Um, so please consider supporting us on Patreon so we can eventually pay off like my $16,000 student loan. Not 16,000 because it's $1,600. It's not. Yeah, it's a lot. Anyway, um, so the major thing we're going to be looking at now is the latest build, which is very redstone intensive. I considered streaming some of the construction of the redstone stuff, but I may have done some tutorials on this before. And I'll try to explain it as best I can. Yeah, um, so here's pretty much around where the spawn point is. Here's a detailed map of the city so far. All of this area has been flattened. We might be making a few more roads. One thing, if you want to join, I would appreciate is donating as much ink as you can, because that's what we need for, and I guess gravel and sand as well, to add some additional roads. I'm hoping to put a road down here. That's probably gonna be it. Um, like a road down here, and that's probably it. As far as like where I want to add roads, and then I want to try and flatten as much of the terrain um, up this way as I can. But these are like all kind of hills and mountains, and they're really hard to flatten. Because we don't have TNT. I have TNT, but I can't actually use it because of uh, anti-goofing measures, which I kind of agree with. We're also might be changing over for a stint to. I just took that map because I realized that but that's an old version I need to update. So, but first I want to go to Amplitude Amphitheater while it's still nighttime. Um, so this is something I had on my old world on Java Edition. Amplitude Amphitheater. I need to figure if I've spelled that right, actually. I'll have to look at that. This is a ticket office. I need to actually add labels. These are the concession stands. I might add some. I don't know. Anyone has ideas for like how to actually decorate the concession stand area is fine. Originally, I used a lot of command blocks, and because we don't, this is a legit uh, peaceful survival mode. Um, Occasionally, uh, I've had to limit it and get a little creative with the redstone wiring, and I'll try to show as much as I can of how it works. So we have the sound. I might add some like redstone stuff here eventually. I can't remember. The comparator I think would be. Yeah, a redstone comparator probably would be the one that I want to. Uh, it's just I don't have just to like as a decoration. Anyway, um, these that's one of my proudest creations. Um, I originally had command blocks out here, and I could actually like make everything turn on and just stay on. but there really isn't a lot of room for that with actual redstone. So anyway, I'll start with ceiling chasers. And those actually have a switch inside to have to be on and staying on. Then we have the ground chasers, which are both. There's one is obviously like in the front, and there's another one that's like facing the stage. It's just a little more apparent from over here if we turn out the ceiling chasers. You can see that they light up the stage a little bit too. And I'll show that when we get onto the stage. Then we have the vertical chasers, which we already showed. Then you have this, which is pretty cool, although we're going to be wasting some resources here, but so yeah, and how these actually all work. If we have basically this sort of pattern, winding redstone stairs, which go down and all the way over to, and they're mirrored so that, and there's a wall separating them so they don't cross over. So, and actually, I had an idea because I realized that, like, there's a lot of space here, so I could just like literally wall off some of the areas to add the redstone stuff, or redstone redstone ladders or whatever it would be called. So I believe it's kind of I show you how to make this step by step. I think I may have done that before. I may have done a tutorial at some point. But this is like so simple, or like compared to like other redstone contraptions you can build. This is like I can kind of, I feel at least like I can just kind of show you what it looks like, and you can like literally like just look at it and be like, oh, like I can kind of see how this works. So the general, all this is kind of general principle. We have a clock down here is a simple redstone clock with a repeater set to 4 ticks, and there's a repeater leading into it so that we so the signal starts out off or whatever. Like when I flip the switch, everything will turn off rather than everything being on. So you have a repeater here mainly just to carry the signal. Just to boost the signal. This I think is also to boost the signal, and this is again to boost the signal. And these are basically you can basically program it kind of in terms of direction. So you have this one going up, this one going down, and then you can kind of like you can mess with it somewhat. Maybe make it like 2 at a time, switching. I haven't really tried much because it's kind of tricky. Like this is also the coolest concept. Yeah, basically we have the bottom one set to 1 tick, 2 ticks, 3 ticks, 4 ticks, and it's in a little pattern going up. And actually, if you can actually have these closer together, if you want. Like you could have this little part here can be shared between these two. I don't think I realized that when I first designed it, and I was just replicating my original design. So, if you want to make the stage a little more compact, you can probably just have these two be together, because it wouldn't like really cross signal. I don't think. I think in my newer club, which I guess I'll be showing too. Anyway, yeah, it's daytime, but that's important. But yeah, you can see we have the stage is half slabs, and we have these little lights on the stage here. Actually, I probably need to seal some of these things up with half slabs or something. But anyway, we can also hop up here, and we have basically a whole bunch of repeaters. And remember, this is all done in survival. Like it's peaceful, but it's survival. And in this case, my first season of Minecraft, I did some cheating, but here, like I'm restricted because I don't, like whenever you just go on the server and you'll into the realm and you'll find that like you can get achievements. So like that'll be confirmation that I did not like switch to creative mode or anything. Like we've just been switching between easy and peaceful. It's a simple sort of their clock, and it's a pulse being sent through a series of repeaters, creating a bit of a delay, I guess, between, and it's going sort of an outward pattern. So it's starting from the middle and then working its way out. And this is where we have fire off the fire charges. And we had 5, now we're down to 4. Like I originally built this in creative mode so I could just like give myself a stack of so yeah, something I kind of hope they'll change eventually is to make gunpowder just a little easier to attain. I don't know exactly how. Like, I was kind of hoping maybe they do something from the Nether update, but as far as I know, I haven't found any information on that. So, the only sort of renewable resource you can get them from potentially is wandering traders. And there may even be a limit to how much you can even use that. So, but anyway, we also have this, which is a similar design. So basically, this is similar to the chasers here. We have little delays so that it's sort of you could even probably add a bit more delay between each of these. Firing. Probably should have done it before I did the tour so I could just test it without having to waste needlessly. But we have the sprinkler system. So we have basically these are dispensers. And there's dispensers facing downward up here that have buckets in them with water. Normally, you press it again and it takes the water back in and then resets everything. I decided to, wire this up to remotely to be remote so that I can, because, if I just push the button from inside, like I can actually see, the effect of, the it lighting up, which is cool. So you won't be able to see it, immediately. So, but turning it out is I mean, it has a similar, sort of repeater thing. If you want to like recreate this, I guess you don't necessarily need to use repeaters between um, everything really, um, because I don't think having you know it sort of sequentially put out each and every one of the fires of water is quite as like neat looking as the fire itself. So really, if you want to save some resources, we just have tons of redstone and tons of I spelled tons of smooth stone. So creating a ton of repeaters isn't really that difficult at this point. So, um, but yeah, it is a little bit wasteful. Um, Also, my original version of this was all like quartz, but um, I just I built a ton of stuff out of quartz. Um, so I'm getting tired of building things of quartz, so I decided to use uh, to gather a bunch of red sand and make it with this and with purple blocks. Which you can't really, I guess, see much. I mean, I guess you can see in the back. Um, What's up to, Ellie? Okay. I also decided to make the parking lot out of andesite and just um, uh, white concrete. Because basically, here's a little pro tip. If you want to make a lot of white concrete, um, or in this case, well, here, white concrete pattern. Um, there goes white concrete here. Um, I use powder here because it just sort of matches the andesite more. And I use this famous andesite. I don't know. Yeah, why I use white concrete powder rather than diorite is that diorite, like it kind of matches, um, it sort of matches the, um, I don't know, like there's a few reasons. Like one, this is a lot more just pure white, whereas andesite or diorite is more dark. The texture is a lot more you know black and white, which is where this is more gray and white. Basically, I would describe it. Um, light gray, extremely light gray and white. Um, um, so that's one reason. The other reason is that this actually shows up as white on maps, whereas andesite and diorite both show up as gray on the map. Now, unfortunately, all stairs show up, at least currently show up as gray, which is what I imagine is that it's because the engine, when it renders it, it just doesn't know or whatever doesn't know how to um, render stairs on the map. Since I think the problem is that stairs are um, you know like if you're going to literally render them, like each block is a pixel. So it and you know the lighting is based on elevation. Like how dark or light that pixel is based on elevation to some extent. Um, and for whatever reason, I, I'm not really sure. Like what I'm imagining is that because the elevation of like half slabs and Um, and stairs is like split. Well, stairs in particular are split. You know, half of it is at one, or well, maybe more than half of it. I don't know. Let's like look at a staircase. I think stairs are just, yeah, they're literally two different elevations. So like if it's 1 pixel, then you have to like split the pixel, you know, into pretty much at least 4 pixels, you know, to render the two different elevations. For a slab, I'm not quite as sure, but it's still like half a level of elevation. You know, part of it is a half a level of elevation, so it wouldn't know whether to render it as like as if it were like here or up above it or below it. Like it's literally in between, so it need to have like another value for how to shade that. Um, like there had to be half values for shading things. I guess I don't know. So rather than like personally, I would just say like it, stairs should just be rendered as whole blocks of the color of the material they're made from. Like I'm not sure what's so hard about coding that into the way it draws maps. Um, because I mean, you can see, and that's the weird thing about the roof, is that there are little bits of the roof that are, um, like I think mainly the chisel stuff, like that is actually rendered on the map, but everything, everything's actual whole blocks are rendered on the map, but it had a little more delay. Now we're down to free charges. But anyway, um, so those things look a little weird when it should just look like a roof. Um, so I hope they eventually find a way to just fix it. Like in terms of just the pure logistical issue of it, like it should just be have it render as a solid color based, in terms of like which elevation to do it. Like stairs should just be like the upper. I think a stair should be rendered as just like the upper part of the stair, or just pick it. Pick one. Like they should be rendered as if they were a full block. Um, rather than shaded as if they were a full block. A slab should probably be, you know, if a slab is at like yeah, like if a slab is at like upper slab, then it would be rendered as like a full, as if it were a full block at you know that elevation. Whereas if it's a slab that is lower, then it would just be like rendered as if we're below itself. As if it were a whole block that were basically below itself. Um, I mean, I get some quite as much like fine detail out of the shading as if uh, I don't know, if it looks better, maybe it could be just rendered as if it were a full block. Um, I don't know. Anyway, oh yeah, I wanted to show uh, the underneath stuff. Oh yeah, and I can hop up, have a switch here that just turns on all the lights. So down here is really dark right now. Eventually I want to add a fireworks display to the back, but you know, we need a whole bunch of gunpowder, and again, it's really hard to come across. So we have another repeater here. It's basically like the upper lights only sort of reversed. And there's literally a middle one that starts out and then works its way out. So we just have a path coming down from for these little shafts here, out for here. Some of them, I think, or at least one of them, I think, is actually like yeah, actually goes underneath, which it probably didn't actually need to. Now that I'm looking at it, probably didn't need to. But there you go. It just a little ravine that was sort of everything being built over. I need to start like packing up everything that all my like storage stuff here. Now that this place is pretty much finished. I actually have a bit of a bee farm here. The bee update, Aaron had to actually go out and like find bees from like new areas of the map, so this is Aaron's house. He's actually the person who pays for the Minecraft realm, and he's also our producer. So I just left the sword for him. Actually, pretty cool sword. I call it the Master Sword because I got this from an End fortress. And it has looting free and mending 1. So basically, as long as you're using it to attack stuff, it's basically unbreakable. And since the only difference between as far as I'm aware anyway, the only difference between a diamond sword and a iron sword is durability. Like this is literally like a perfect sword. It probably could use sharpness too, but didn't work. Probably because there's so much other enchantments on it that but I'm hoping that he'll like or maybe last time he'll come on and like switch over to easy and go find and attack a bunch of creepers. Um, to knockback will definitely help that a little bit, at least. Maybe. I should probably do a little bit of a tour of this place. It's kind of garage with a bunch of storage. A living room with a TV, maybe a pool, a billiard table, maybe. Bedroom, obviously. Kitchen, a bee. There you go. Another bedroom, bathroom. There you go. There's a basketball thing here. We have a community farm here, which pretty much has just about everything you could possibly want. You know, got honey, we've got vines, we've got little fish tank here with a bunch of I forget, it was kelp, I think, yeah. Pumpkins and melons. Got we don't really have much in the way of chickens, but we have cows, and so many cows. Oh my god, that's too many cows. We've even got cows leaking into here. I don't know how the heck they got in here. Like, how would it even spawn in here? Like, we have so many sheep already. Also, they seem to all congregate around here for some reason. I thought it might be because we have, like wheat over here. Like, that's what I thought originally. But, like, I added a sign of wheat over here, and still... Maybe it's because there's a container with wheat? I don't know. I'm still a little, like, confused by that. But they're, like, tendency to accumulate over that direction. Anyway, we have a little fountain with beacon coming out of it. Probably Aaron has fought like 2 wizards so far to There's a bunch of terrain I flattened, so there's area to build something here. The boundary of like where you can build things that will actually show up on the map is like right here, I think. So, I mean, I guess you could build something like, you know, if you level the terrain a bit, maybe you could build something out this way a little bit, but not all of it will show up on the map. Hi. We have old mansion here, but we have a recreation of the maze from Tomb Raider 2, I think. There's nothing really here right now, but I might add something. Maybe a bit of gold or something. Because I've got a ton of gold, so. Okay, now see if I can remember the way out. There we go. Got a tennis court here. We got a grill and a hot tub. Little hidden cave here. We can't have a waterfall without a hidden cave behind it. This I believe is based. There's a few things here that are based on builds by Keralis. Both some creative liberties. I believe this is. I think I use a different material for like each layer of the mansion, or each level of the mansion. I still need some ideas for interior decoration. Oh, there's some. Actually, there's some cool stuff up here too. Actually, the reason why I have this down here is because um, the carpet up here that makes the tarp doesn't actually show up on the map. So I had to add it down here so it would show up on the map. So so here's another original creation by me. I mean, it's not like entirely original. It's based off something out of the game, but this is Yasagami High. I need to actually put like a label on this. The interior isn't completely decorated yet. I think we only have like the nurse's office is decorated right now. And forget some of the lighting glitches here. I don't have any torches to. Do you have any torches in any of the lockers? Have some of these. There we go. There's some torches. For some reason, there's lots of lighting glitches that happen in like this area in particular. Here's supposed to be classrooms. Got the bathrooms here with some mirrors. Bathrooms are probably one of the few areas that actually is decorated properly. Most of the floors are roughly the same and relatively undecorated. We just have the roof. I was thinking of having some like ventilation shafts here made of iron, but that's probably a bit too expensive. Actually, like I think we currently have like more diamond and gold than we have freaking iron. We have the practice building over here, which is again not really furnished. I really need to actually go into the game because I based this on like a Sims 2 or Sims 4 recreation of the school. So actually, a couple of Sims 4 recreations, and some are probably more accurate than others. Um, I should go this way. This is the gym, which is incredibly small, but a little stage for assemblies, a little balcony. Probably a little more lighting over here, at least for nighttime, but we've got our library over here, which was built by Aaron. Actually ended up stealing a few bookshelves. Like there's some bookshelves that lined over here. Um, We have the Tendo Dojo, one of my crowning achievements. Roll in half. Dude, if you enter established combat, use rear entrance. We don't want to do that, so we're going to use the front entrance. Front entrance is a repository for all the cobblestone that I've acquired from leveling terrain and such. Hypothesize room. The kitchen. Everything has light switches in it. Working light switches. Which I'm very, like, that's probably the major feature that I am most proud of, is having working light switches everywhere. But almost every room and hallway has a working light switch. We have the living room, which actually has a little area behind here where I could actually do a bit more fancy redstone to actually have the light switch lower. Isn't really possible everywhere, so mostly it's like up here, like closer to the ceiling, because it's just easier to wire. Because basically, like, there's like usually a thing of redstone dust or a redstone torch or something, like right above the block where the switch is. I believe this is for the outdoor lights. These are hallway lights. So we have sounds room. Probably should be a door here. Yeah, we still have. Probably need to sort that out a little bit. You had the furrow, or sort of bathroom area. Was there some fancy way I could, like, have, like, I don't know, I'll have to look into like how possible it would be to make like a pit of like smoke like underneath, like 2 blocks underneath where the uh water would be, and then I could have like some pistons that I could close in and then like basically cut off the smoke and then open to let smoke through. To simulate turning like a hot tub or whatever on and off. Let's see how well that would work. Cause it's like how the grill works, and such. Like you can put a campfire like one below 1 block, and it will still like pass through it. But I wonder if it would pass through if you had like 1 block and 1 block of air. Like 1 block of air and then a block above the air would still pass through, or does the 1 block need to be directly on top of the smoke source for it to work? Okay, so here's a second before I just like completely sleepwalk my way up here. This is the Saotome's room. Bit more storage. Desk here. Getting working light switches. Like it's a very, like it's a simple thing in real life, but like to make it work in Minecraft, like you'll notice that there is like 3 blocks between the ceiling here and the bottom floor of this floor. So we have a pretty much an entire layer dedicated to just redstone. Then making sure it doesn't pass over a door, because then it will open the door. Or cross with any of the other redstone for any of the other lights. That's a lot of considerations you have to make when you're trying to do something like this. Now here it's a bit easier since we have a roof. So actually, originally the roof was made of I believe a stone brick roof, but then I eventually just gathered a whole bunch of like ocean monument stuff. I forget what it's called, to make the roof, and it still looks gray because as I did mention earlier, this is Kasumi's room. Little vanity mirror here. Then Nabiki's room. Getting functioning light switches. Nakai's room. And of course there's the laundry thing here. I don't know why Akaya's room has a laundry thing outside it when Kasumi's kind of the housekeeper of the sisters, but whatever. It's based on the floor plans for like either the anime or the manga, I don't know. Could be for both, whatever. Anyway, then we have the dojo itself. This is just a storage room. It also has lighting. And this is all cobblestone. And we have the which has some of the most elaborate lighting. You can kind of tell a little bit of how difficult it was to get the lighting rigged up here. Just from like how, like, it's not really meant to light up in a sequence, but that's just how it works with all the repeaters and such I had to implement. I think this is supposed to be a model of the of a dojo or something. Yeah, getting the entire roof for this entire thing in these like dark prismarine steps and half slabs. Took a lot of rating of ocean monuments. I believe these were built by Aaron's wife, Jessica, like the movie House. Ouch. This may have also been built by her too. A possibly in collaboration with Erin, her swamp treehouse. Oh yeah, I was meaning to share a bit of like insight about how you. Excuse me, I forgot there's a pit here. Um, can get a lot of bone meal. So basically, if you have looting free, particularly, you can go after fish. Um, like in rivers and just go to town. Like that's um, and I guess in terms of going after squid, I would probably go for rivers because at this point they only spawn in rivers and oceans. In oceans, they're competing against spawns of like dolphins and two other kinds of fish. Whereas I think only carp, like the red ones, whichever where the red fish are, um, spawn in the. This is a build by Axia Nerve. Well, I built it, but it's based on schematics by him with a few little crew touches by myself. Um, Trying to give credit to like people who like actually did the original designs. And they did actual build videos that they shared with people. So, the whole point is to, you know, help people, they want something like this in their own world, they can recreate it step by step. Let's see, there's this little area which I had myself, and I still haven't really finished out the basement, but there is a secret room which opens a secret door which leads to nowhere currently. But it's kind of cool. So let's see. It's the living room. There's a kitchen. Here's a bathroom. Toilet. Little lobby area here. Or dining room. Seen before. We have master bedroom. Little TV there. We got a actual working shower. Actually, something I think he actually had like a shower system in his own one, but he couldn't figure out like how to get the lever, um, like out of the way of the water. So, and I think he basically figured like put like get a little depression. I think he had to put the lever like outside or something. I can't remember what he did, but some lighting errors here. So we have some little areas that aren't really built yet. This is supposed to be kind of another bedroom, maybe. Or it's a lounge. I don't know. And one of the things I've been trying to do with the upper floors is actually like connect everything together so all the windows actually lead into rooms. Because like in his build, a lot of the windows are basically like just have like black wool behind them because they couldn't figure out a way to like add a room there. So, because they kind of like built the exterior without much regard to like what was going to actually be inside. So, he did a fairly good job with the interior, but he kind of gave up after a certain point when fleshing out the interior. So, yeah. I can kind of sympathize a little bit. This is the clock tower. Or actually, that's the clock tower. This is just a tower. Um, let's figure out how to get back down. There's only a few other rooms to like really show off here. There's some areas over here, but there's nothing really. I guess there's kind of this area is kind of neat, but really not much else to show. Another TV here. Yep. Study here. We got a little map of the town, which is actually kind of out of date. So, actually, let me see here. Area. Update that. Need to update this map. Yeah, there's a lot to update on this map. I've got a lot of real estate here for anyone who wants to build anything. We're probably gonna be putting a road. I need to use Silk Touch to get a grass block here. I probably won't be able to fill out this whole thing during the course of the tour, but yeah. Because we're going a little off track. So here we have another Keralis build, probably the largest build based on and inspired by Keralis. It's actually a build that was based on a build by Keralis. I can't remember if I have credit to the person who actually built it. Like I built it like in a server, but he was only like the complete design because he never like finished his build in videos, and um, yeah. I just call it Corrales Keep. Um, I need to actually find and tame some horses. Keeping some stables here. And a lot of the ground here is actually kind of hollow. I think of gathering up a bunch of dirt to like put down here, but yeah. So we got a little bedroom here. Probably add something here later. I think there's another one of the changes I actually made is to make the fireplace actually go all the way up and out. And this is supposed to be a library, but I don't think I haven't actually filled it out yet. There's a lot else to show. Like there's the other floors. I don't think there's anything really on them yet. But there is this little. Actually, here we have a smelting operation. Although you can't get any XP from doing this, but it is fairly efficient. Probably the only way you can really use coal blocks efficiently, because otherwise. I still have a ton of stone. Like you see how I can make all those repeaters. Oh yeah, and then there's here. Originally, there's supposed to be bubbles coming up behind the water, but unfortunately, it's swamp water, so it's entirely opaque. You can occasionally see the bubbles. Oh, someone must be messaging me. Humble bundle took out. This is a pretty cool spot that wasn't actually in Corrales' original build. Really need to look up who made this version of the build and get them at least a little bit of credit. Again, I built this all myself, but the actual design is from other sources, and there's also a bunch of stuff I built myself, like this cathedral I built myself and are entirely my own design. And I say the amphitheater is also all my own design, including the redstone stuff. This mansion, it's relatively simple, is all my own design, and Tano Dojo, and the what you call it, the Yasugami High is also my own design. This is Jessica's house that she kind of started and abandoned. She worked on the exterior, but then when she got the interior, she kind of gave up. I mean, it looks nice outside. Unless I get like really desperate for quartz blocks, I might tear it down. This is supposed to be a haunted cathedral. We haven't really fleshed out the inside that much. You have some like pews and stuff. I did some clever things with like the lighting, having these little pillars, and then on either side, the light can come through these sort of alcoves. Yeah, spiral stairs leading up to the sort of making you dizzy. To a little balcony area, and further up to what could eventually be an office type area. Along with a bell tower. Which is a little weirdly shaped, but that's just because it's like, yeah, of the shape of the building is not entirely like one dimension is odd and the other is even, so it's kind of unavoidable. And when looking at it from below, it's not that bad. That's pretty much it for, I think, this area in particular. I need to go down to now it starts raining. So it's good. Take my temperature live on cam. Yep, I'm down to 98.5. And for the record, my normal temp is my normal temp is, I believe, something around 97. Like, basically, around 97.7 or 97.8 or something like that. Like, I have below average resting body temp. So, I still technically have a slight favor. Even though I'm below average, I'm below 98.6. My mom actually supposedly has a resting body temperature of 96.6 or something like that. Like 96.7 or something like that. Like she should be suffering from hypothermia. So this is our Lavos build. I actually built this road specifically to get there. Um, and I haven't really been here a lot, so you can see that the grass hasn't really grown back from where I carved the path. Go inside Lavos, and actually, yeah, I have actually built the Lavos core. Um, Eventually, I will build a Lavos core. Da 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 da. So that's kind of everything we can like reach through the current road system in the main town. Everything else kind of off the grid, as it were. But you can get to it through nether portals. Um, Actually shaping off to be like a very long tour. Um, yeah, we're looking for people to come on to our servers. Link in the description. There'll be a link at the end of this video, a Bitly link. I have, I thought I had like a Bitly link on this screen at one point. Like I had to get rid of a bunch of stuff when I did my Final Fantasy 7 stream because like it's filling this entire half of the screen. So um, I may have just like deleted the Bitly link from here. I might have to like add it back. There we go. Let's see if we can get it where it can be easily read. There we go. That looks. Let me take some shelter from the storm. Okay. Not sure where all these beds are coming from. Pretty sure I'm not the one who actually put down all these beds. Oh yeah, I'm going this way. I'm not sure where Ellie went to. It's probably about time to give her some food. probably feed her as soon as I'm done with the. I'll probably show off like the other major area. There's a couple like bases for Aaron and Jessica, but and they're kind of cool, but you can just. I need to say something for you guys to check out on your own. So. Here we have our um, miniature Bioshock build. I have a map of this particular area. Might actually add some like furniture and stuff to here to like really decorate it, but so far it's just this little sort of underwater dome atrium area. Yeah, this is like pretty freaking incredible though. Um, Required a lot of sponges. And of course we have uh, respiration and aqua affinity. I don't know if I had depth strider at this point too. I may have had that. We have soul sand making little bubble things. I think I originally was planning to use magma blocks, but those actually suck things in and were killing all the wildlife, so just causes the wildlife to kind of splash around, so a little bit so. If we have a bubble elevator, which is pretty fun. You kind of see the build coming up here. That's pretty cool. Wish I'm gonna migrate all this stuff over too. Um, I do have like a path over here, um, over that way. You can kind of see how on the in the upper, let's see, the northeast corner of the map. So there's one more area I need to shop for in the tour for now. So we have Aaron Jessica places are over this way for a couple of portals there. Um, I go to Castletown, which is a more medieval themed building area. I haven't actually been there at all since I've been really focused on the town and stuff in it. We have this community greenhouse, which is just the smaller, scaled down version of the farm, really. Um, it's kind of been replaced by the farm, really, but it's still pretty cool. Yeah, the stage was kind of a abandoned build a little bit. I mean, it's not really that abandoned. Like the back of it isn't really fleshed out. Um, but I have a system where um, we have basically a curtain, concrete patterned curtain. I'm sure I have a block of quartz in here. Um, I'll just leave it for now. Yeah, the idea is that anyway, let's see here. Is the curtain? So I have a bunch of pistons out here. I set the concrete pattern in a curtain pattern on top of the pistons, and there we go. And when I use this lever and then release the pistons, and they drop all into these hoppers that then go into chests, so I can do it all over again. I have a little castle here. We're like tear that. We're gonna strike that set and build other things potentially. I don't know. Little artificial stun in the background. Have in the currently abandoned village. I don't know. Maybe potentially a glitch that causes like villagers to just like suddenly despawn. I don't know if someone came through and killed all the villagers. I don't know. But anyway, this is something I'm considering just moving somehow to the town proper. Our mascot. It's probably the easiest thing to move. Sort of. Kind of. Not really. But like it requires like the fewest blocks, and I don't know. I mean, I could always just copy it too, but we have the recreations of the amiibos for 8-Bit Mario and Link. I actually own both of these now. I've managed to get an 8-Bit Link from Target a ways back. Here's my own original castle design. So you can add this to the list of things that are my own original creations. This is a little bit of redstone wizardry there. They got a couple maps of the village here. Frone. And below we have a little nightclub area, which also utilizes my vertical tracer design. Have a little aquarium here. Pretty neat. We have another little... This is broken somehow. I think I just need to put the bookcase back in. Anyway, we have a little wine cellar here with different potions. Oh yeah, it is literally broken. Maybe somebody about the redstone, way redstone works changed, or I don't know. Maybe someone actually literally broke here. I don't know. I wanted to show. This is another variation of my vertical tracers, but you can see, I think, yeah, they share some of the wiring here, so I did variation of it for a slightly different design here, but it's the basic principle is the same. It's 1 tick, 2 ticks, 3 ticks, since there's only 3. So that's basically everything, I think. Oh yeah, there's another sort of garden hedge maze. And a little fountain in the middle. And yeah, we have some stuff you can harvest here. So it's a little bit of a farm too. You have a little... I think you can walk for that. But it's kind of boring because it's just a little path around. Got wheat, radishes, and then potatoes and carrots. believe we go up here, we can get a better like overview of the. Well, kind of. You can kind of see. I have a lot too. I have one like dirt block I can area. There's an overview of what the hedge maze looks like. It's like entirely symmetrical from all four corners. I said just go like for sort of aesthetics over like actually making it confusing, or challenging to navigate. It just looks nice. And this is just another way down into the nightclub. If you're curious, I'm sure I did show sort of. Yeah, that's entirely basically what I did to make this work is there's an entire layer of water underneath the floor. In case you're curious, it's like how I got like coral to stay alive. There's literally a layer of water underneath the floor. I think I could potentially do a quick tour of. And Jessica's places, just for completion's sake. Over that way, we have a railway to the Mesa biome, which is quite a ways away, and we have apparently ghasts could end up lingering around in peaceful, which is interesting. At least they're not hostile. They're still really creepy. I kind of like the idea of having like certain hostile mobs like actually maybe even spawn so that but actually like just behave differently on peaceful difficulty. Like that way you can still like get stuff things out of them. I mean, I'm not sure what I do with creepers. So this is Aaron's place. He has like a fascination with a lot of like auto harvesting, like auto farming tools. I'm trying to get him to like make a squid farmer. Um, anyway, check and see if tomorrow had sticky pistons. He'll build his place around a actual village. Also, I didn't really show up. We had to look a little, like down there in the bottom right corner. There's basically a villager, trading post. He has like a butler that he keeps locked up in his like dining room or something. This is supposed to be like a hot tub, but it's Way too hot and deadly. Actually, that's probably the best design for a hot tub. A little too hot. Um, have a little basement area here. And then some mining operations. Strip mining from the looks of it. Um, bedrooms, library. Charging table. Hell base for some reason. He has like just one other room that I can't really get to easily. There's a that box missing. I think it was everything else like auto farmers and mining stuff, and he has a little house here too. With some mixed materials on that little corner there. Not sure what's going on here as well. You like literally like dig the well down to the bedrock. I think he may have actually did that. Okay, he actually like, and then like just stopped. Yeah, he like, he went all the way down to the bedrock. Not quite sure what the purpose of that was. Oh, okay, don't want to go that way. Good thing I have water breathing. This is a really deep well. Timmy won't stand a chance. Okay. Let's see if I can find. This might be a concrete mixer. Not really sure. See if I can find it where the hell the nether portal. There it is. Let's just show Jessica's place. She's very quick, because a whole lot to show. think so. Either one that leads into. One of them just sort of leads into nowhere. Um, as a nameless kitty there. Not sure if it's meant to. Probably represents Taku, maybe? I imagine. Have a little, like, conservatory or something. I'm not sure. But enchanting room there, obviously. Bunch of item storage. Just random odds and ends. Usually there's a bed here. Cupboard under the stairs. A little bedroom. Interesting choice of wall. Might be a concrete mixer again. Not quite sure. And then I think there's a turtle farm someplace. Yeah, right there is a turtle farm. This, this leads to Aaron's place. I'll break that. Okay. And it's just kind of random stuff. Mine. That's basically it. So I gotta find our way back. This is a little confusing because okay, there we go. So I guess it said Justin's base. It was originally just a base, but now it's like literally a town. Um, in fact, there's still a few little spots that have been destroyed by sheep, but whatever. Oh, good to go around and fill out this map again. Um, I'll be doing that off camera. Anyway, again, you can check out our Minecraft problem either link in the description, or if you're on Twitch, for the Bitly link right down here in the bottom right corner. Of course, on also help support the show by becoming a patron. Patreon.com/Pixels Plays. We're playing Final Fantasy 7, so gotta change the entire interface back to. Also, I could show you a preview of something coming up next week. Not next week, next month in March, later in March. We've got, well, not Tokyo Chronos. It's not entirely complete yet, but we've got Persona 5. We've even got a little filter for if I can find it. You turn myself black and white. Pretty cool. But anyway, there's also a bunch of little things you can do that'll help in their own ways. Again, we've hit to thank our producer and the founder of our Minecraft realm, Aaron McMahon. As always, thanks for watching. Until next time, sign out. We'll be possibly streaming some Dragon Age Inquisition later tonight, as long as I keep on feeling better. Anyway, once again, thanks, and sign out.